everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Well, President Trump just announced that millions of so-called illegal aliens are projected to be removed by ICE. Now, a lot of you have been waiting for a long time for this to happen. Now, we'll have to see. Just because he says doesn't mean it will exactly happen. Of course, not all of his campaign promises have been met. And it's likely that some of them won't be. But I guess what's happening now is that as the resources and all the tools are being set up, now they're ready, according to what they're telling us, that there's going to be a massive deportation force. Now, here's my take of deportations. Even though it is reasonable, even though it makes sense, in my opinion, the most effective way to solve the unlawful immigration crisis is through pressuring illegal immigrants to leave by reducing the incentive. Number one is to find the employers and implement E-Verify, because that is what's really the magnet, the monetary gain. Number two is to end birthright citizenship. Now, I believe it was about several months ago where he has plans to end birthright citizenship. I don't know what had happened exactly. That was one of his promises. But again, the main reason of birthright citizenship, it makes it harder to basically send the whole family back. And that along with DACA, because what that means essentially is that families instead will have to be separated because the children are American citizens. More importantly, it gives welfare benefits to the rest of the family. So the child is an American citizen and they can qualify. This is one of the reasons why a lot of welfare benefits are given through multiple languages. And now we see that a lot of parents are pulling their children out of the programs to reduce the chance of deportation. Number three, you need to tax the money that gets sent abroad. Now, we now have a situation where entire economies are largely dependent on remittances coming from the United States into countries like Mexico, Philippines, the 3 Central American countries and so forth. And this has got to stop. A lot of that money is not being taxed. We need to do that. I'm wondering why the state legislature has not done that here in Nevada, despite that I told them many times. Now these so-called pro-illegal alien politicians are thinking about raising our sales taxes. And you see that a lot of that money should have gone to a lot of local services, but instead it gets sent abroad. And number four, you can make English as the national language. So a lot of services and a lot of different programs is deterring a lot of foreign nationals from using them. But anyway, I want to get to the point because this is going to get really exciting because he says millions of illegal aliens. So think about a lot of the anxiety it's going to cause. Now, immigration lawyers are going to try to step in. The courts are going to try to block him. And again, they want to really resist this kind of machine. So we have this insane system where a lot of the money is being sent abroad. Basically, it's kind of like the trade deals where we as Americans are being ripped off practically. That's basically what's wrong with our economy, along with the CEOs sucking up so much of the profits and not really giving much to their workers. And so you're going to see a lot of tension build up. You're seeing a lot of politicians are going to continue to sell out, look for more town hall events. And more importantly, another thing is you may see a lot of tension in the streets. You could see more civil unrest. So we have to see really how this turns out. Now again, I can't trust anyone just because he says that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But if you look at what's happening here in Las Vegas, it's just getting really out of control. Just last weekend, the governor just signed many bills catering to illegal aliens. And they were having their Hispanic music and festivity, and I tried to speak to some of the politicians, and they wouldn't even come near me. They would push me around, and I tried to go to Sizzle. I'll show you those videos later on where I tried to speak to them in Persian. The bodyguards were all over me. It was really insane. And you see the system is really firing back against people like us who are getting fed up with this massive immigration. It's getting really out of control. You look at these neighborhoods in the northeast part of Las Vegas, it looks like third world conditions. Very depressing, ladies and gentlemen. And we are seeing a lot of progress being made. the fact that if you're an immigrant, you are trying to get welfare. Now they're trying to enforce the 1996 laws where your relative has to reimburse you. They just recently talked about how a lot of Mexican officials are now stopping the migrant caravans. So these are some real progress that's being made. Now, of course, is it enough? Good question. But we're starting to see, hopefully, that the numbers are starting to stop or come down. And as a result, we're going to see less apprehensions at the border. But then again, I believe a lot of these things should have been done several months ago. Because now it seems like we have African migrants that are coming across the border. And many of these African migrants are now heading into areas, not by the border, but well into the interior of the country where their friends and family already live. Because then again, this just to show you, it's not really the 11 million. It's the 20 million if you factor in the anchor babies, the visa overstays, and it's actually probably 40 million people when you include all their distant relatives who are green card holders, who are American citizens. So it's like a 40 million massive, enormous monster is what you really, really have to keep in mind. So this is a serious, serious crisis. Remember, this is a global plan. Mass migration is moving to all these other Western countries, including in Europe. It's designed, in my opinion, to destroy Western civilization. So we have to really, really keep this in mind. And I'm really concerned about the migrant caravans. Man, some of these people could be coming here to Las Vegas and now they're spreading diseases. It's really, really crazy to see what's happened. 25% of the public school students in the school district has a parent who's illegally here. You got about a third of the births, I believe, here in Las Vegas are from illegal alien mothers. It's getting really, really out of hand. But what we need to do is we need to protect our borders. I believe there is a anti-caravan event happening in Utah. I'll be there probably this weekend. I'll have some more updates to come. It's interesting now that ICE is considering mass deportations, although I do hope that they're going to figure out other means to reduce the incentives for illegals to stay in the country. And we'll have to see how this really plays out. Will this be like a operation whatever that happened in the 1950s under Eisenhower? I don't really think it will go that far, but we'll have to see how many actually get deported. Will it be 3 million, 5 million in the entire Trump's presidency? Certainly the probability of him getting reelected is pretty high, but this is getting really, really interesting. And I think this is going to intensify the Civil War issue. And before I go, and I almost forgot, but we're going to see how this plays out when the next economic downturn, when this real estate market blows up again and all those jobs disappear. But more importantly, as the technology kicks in and these new jobs come in and come out and everything, and these immigrants are going to be displaced and everything, we're going to see how this plays out, because they even admitted in the Culinary Workers Union, one of their largest threats is automation, which is notoriously known to pump immigrants into the polls in order to support mainly corrupt politicians. So we're going to see many of these elements could really put a lot of dent to this corrupt, especially Democrat-infested agenda. All right, everybody, thank you guys so much. If you can, please subscribe, share this video. And if you would like, please donate to this channel. The link is in the description below. Take care. Bye-bye.